What's up guys, Channel Mac back again for Reef Lounge TV. Today I'm here to do another coral video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about zoanthids. Zoanthids are probably one of the most common, I guess you would say, beginner corals. They tend to be a coral that a lot of people get for their first coral or when they're starting off a new tank. If you have been kind of researching corals as you're getting into the hobby, you'll probably notice that there's these tiny little polyps you keep seeing everywhere that come in just about every color under the sun, all different shapes and sizes, and people put them all together in a group, call them zoanthid gardens. It's really a very unique type of animal to keep in the tank, and they add just like a different element that I think people can appreciate whether you're a beginner or a seasoned reefer. So the first thing we're going to talk about is placement and where to put these things in the tank. Being that zoanthids typically prefer low to medium light and low to medium flow, I usually tell people that initially placing them in the bottom third of the aquarium is a good place to start. You can kind of condition them to higher light and higher flow over time, but I always tell people to kind of work your way up there, move them up a couple inches in the tank at a time. You don't want to get some zoanthids that have been growing under lower lighting and then just place them at the top of the tank, blast it under your LEDs or metal halides, whatever you're running. Some Zoas can take it, but they can all definitely handle lower light, so I always tell people that's where you start them off. As far as flow goes, I've seen people growing zoanthids in super high flow environments and super low flow environments. There will be different, discussions about what's best for them or what's going to cause them to grow the fastest, give the best coloration, that type of thing. But for the most part, low to medium light and low to medium flow. The next thing we're going to talk about is feeding these corals. Most people agree, I guess I would say most longtime zoanthid keepers would agree that they don't necessarily need to be fed directly. In fact, in my experience, it's pretty tough to see a direct feeding response when trying to target feed zoanthids. I've always noticed from my experience that just having nutrition in the water overall, making sure that the tank itself is fed, is probably the most beneficial thing to long-term health and growth for your zoanthids. I think if you're really taking the time to try to target feed them, I think you'll see benefit, but more so just from adding nutrients to the system overall rather than those tiny little polyps actually absorbing the particles themselves. Another super important thing to talk about when you're talking about zoanthids is fragging. I tend to be kind of a nonchalant, maybe not the most responsible fragger. I don't always use iodine. I don't always clean all my tools. But if I'm fragging zoanthids, I do take precautions. The number one thing here is a lot of these zoanthids that we have in the aquarium hobby, they do contain palytoxin, which can be very dangerous if you ingest it, you get it in a cut, get it in your eyes, that type of thing. So if you're going to be fragging up a bunch of zoanthids, I do recommend that you wear gloves, safety glasses, wash your hands afterwards really good, avoid touching your eyes and mouth, that whole thing. It can be pretty serious. Other than that, that's about all you need to know for growing Zoas. A couple little tips and tricks. I've noticed that you get fastest growth if they have a flat surface to grow on. So frag tiles are great if you're just trying to grow them out into a bigger colony to then frag again. If you have them growing on live rock with a lot of porous crevices and crazy things for their mat to figure out how to cover, they tend to grow a little bit slower. So as far as growth, I think that's the number one factor right there. Other than that, that pretty much does it for this video, guys. If you have any more questions about zoanthids or you want to see any other types of videos on different corals, go ahead and throw those in the comments down there below, and I'll do my best to get back to you guys as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.